Hey, I'm Ryan Palmer, gear editor of Bike Magazine, and we're in the woods here today with DaVinci's new Marshall 2.9. This bike is it's pretty cool. It's an interesting model for them because it's got less travel than the newly released Django 2.9, which has 120. This is 110 in the rear, but it's also a slacker bike, which is pretty interesting. This has a head tube angle range of 66.7 to 67.2. So it's pretty aggressive for a bike of this nature. It's your everyday trail bike, right? This thing will kind of attack anything, but it's definitely built to be ridden hard. And even though it just has 110 millimeters of travel in the rear, it's very progressive, just like a lot of DaVinci's bikes, which basically means that you can ride it really, really hard without bottoming it harshly. But it also does mean that it's a little bit less like, I don't know, cloud feeling. It's like, it's not quite as supple as some other bikes with either, you know, different leverage rates or with more travel. This bike does have an aggressive leverage rate, has a head tube angle of 66.8 to 67.2, which is definitely pretty aggressive for a bike that has this little travel, honestly. It's a 110 in the rear, and with the 29-inch wheels, it's a 120. They spec it with a 120 fork. And what's really interesting about the Marshall is that it was built ground up to be a 27 plus bike, but so far this the 29er's been really good on the trails here in Whistler. It rolls over a lot of the rooty stuff really, really easily. And then the relatively slack head angle allows you to ride more steep stuff, which you know you're gonna encounter here in Whistler. And yeah, it's just been a blast. Like, there's not been a point on these trails where I've felt like I've been undergunned, even with a bike that only has 110 millimeters of real travel. It's got SRAM Eagle on it. It's got high-end Fox 34 suspension and RockShox Monarch shock. And also, since it's a trail bike, they've opted with the new level brakes, which are a little bit less strong, but definitely feel consistent, and they're a little bit lighter weight than the guide brakes are. Well, I've had a really good time riding the Marshall 2.9, and I'm really excited to get on the 27 plus version. So stay tuned for that, actually, because we're definitely going to get one of those bikes in stock, and we're going to be testing it soon.